times your intuition can be absolutely spot on, and then other times it's missing completely. So here are 5 situations in life that can be affecting your intuition, perhaps without you even knowing it. If you were to spend 5 minutes with your eyes closed, imagining that you were relaxing on a beach for the afternoon, your subconscious mind wouldn't know the difference between really you relaxing on a beach for the afternoon and 5 minutes of imagining that that had happened. The truth is, the subconscious mind has a really hard time telling the difference between imagination and reality, which means that when you watch TV, you need to process some of the things that you've watched on television as if it had actually happened to you. In our sleep, we process emotionally what we experienced mentally during the day until about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, when we start to prep for the next day. If you ever find yourself waking up at that time, it's probably because your process bin was too full to process all of the information that you gathered during the day in your REM sleep. You get woken up to finish the job before the morning. If your mind never gets clear, you don't have the space for your intuitive download. Watching TV fills up your brain with useless and sometimes harmful information and stress that the subconscious has to clear before you can have that clarity in your mind that is needed for your intuition. No clarity, no intuitive knowing. You know when you know, and you don't want to know, so you ignore what you know, and then later on you wish that you hadn't. Well, when it comes to relationships, many people I interviewed for my book Intuitive Lovers reported that they knew a relationship was going to go wrong, not partway through, not after a couple of weeks, but right from the very start. However, they went along with the relationship anyway. Often we talk ourselves round saying that it might be some psychological reason, maybe some hurt in the past, but often we really know who to trust and who not to trust. But we don't listen to what we know inside of ourselves about other people, and mainly because we tell ourselves that we are being judgmental, and no one likes to be judgmental. However, when does judgment change from being judgment and become observation? Intuition is observing someone, not just with your head and your thoughts, but your whole being. It's worth hearing what your heart-led intuition is actually telling you. When you're stressed and overwhelmed, you find yourself in the reactive brain. This part of the mind is responsible for the 4 F's: fear, flight, fight, and food. And when we are stressed, it's hard to hear the intuition because the part of the mind that we are in is in the doing, fixing, sorting and achieving mind. Intuition needs to be received. It isn't a skill that we can just simply go out and get. So when you are in the doing mode, you're not in the being mode, which is necessary to receive intuitive knowing. The best thing you can do is when you're feeling stress is just try and find a way to relax, or get into a good mood, maybe listen to some music, even sleep on it, and you'll find that your intuition has a way of getting through to you when you're not feeling so stressed about trying to find the answer. When the ego becomes focused on an outcome it wants, it becomes hard to hear your intuition. For example, if you find the car of your dreams at a cheap price and you want that car so much you ignore the feeling that the used car salesman's a total crook and you buy that car anyway. Our need to avoid pain or to get what we want often means that it becomes so focused on the outcome we don't stay open to our intuition. Sometimes the intuition is trying to lead us to something far better than the thing we were controlling and manipulating in order to get. By becoming open and listening to our intuition, we actually find that we get what we need, not just what we want. caught up in life, we often miss intuitive signs. I used to be what I would call a cappuccino girl, rushing from A to B, coffee in one hand, phone in the other, pulling along a wheelie case, tripping people over. And I see them now. They have no idea that they're towing kind of the equivalent of a long wheelbase truck, and behind them everyone else is tripping over it. When we get consumed in ourselves, we miss the world around us. We stop being curious and open, and instead we become closed down and even obsessed. City life can often make us become focused on doing and getting everything done in the quickest time humanly possible. It's like constantly taking an in-breath and never allowing ourselves to let go and breathe out. By staying open and curious, our heart stays open, and you never know, you might find the one thing that you were busy trying to avoid missing. So by becoming open and curious, we open ourselves up to being guided by what the world gives us instead of trying to force our will into the world around us. It makes us much more happy as people in the long run.